Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Yuri Eclipse, and we're going to be talking about anxiety and depression. If you don't know anything about either of these subjects, sit down and listen. Someone with depression and anxiety will often answer you with, "I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I'm sorry, I'm not who you want me to be." We say sorry more often than we do anything else because we're insecure in our own skin, and our minds are torture devices that remind us this daily. There is nothing sadder than people blaming you for being who you are. I am who I am. You are who you are. We're all beautiful people. It doesn't matter if you have something wrong with you in your head, a physical illness, a mental illness, something wrong with you at all. Because you know what? You are a beautiful human being, and nothing will change that. And the people who can't see that need to open their eyes. Because we aren't born to please these people. We are born to make ourselves happy. And if you make other people happy along the way, that's great. But there's always going to be these naysayers that are always hounding us, always telling us that we need to change, always telling us we need to swallow pills and conform and be normal. There is no such thing as normal. Normal is what people think we want. We want to be ourselves. The sooner people realize that, the sooner we can all get along. Most people with depression, they just want to be loved. Most people with anxiety overthink. Often, depression and anxiety come together. You can't get one without the other. And that's a problem because overthinking bad things is a recipe for disaster if you can't do anything about them. And if you're a friend of this person that's over exaggerating, you might want to sit and think, is this their anxiety? Am I being a jerk? Maybe reevaluate how you react to what they're saying, how they're acting. Maybe all they want to be is understood, loved, and appreciated. Yeah, I might be a little bit biased on this subject. I have friends who have more mental illnesses than I do. I try to understand them. I make an effort. I sit down and actually put time into it. A lot of people with anxiety and depression, they don't think their lives are worth much. And in all honesty, they might be right. But you know what? It's to prove to them that they mean something to you. If you're a friend, prove you're a friend. Be there for them. They call you at 3 a.m. to say, hey, I had a nightmare. Listen to them. Don't tell them they're overreacting because you don't understand. That understanding might be the definition of friendship to them. Who really cares and who doesn't? One friend can stop a person from deciding to off themselves. Think about that. One kind action would change someone's life. Don't be that jerk that tells them to jump. Don't be that guy that every depressed person fears, because we just want someone to understand. And when you don't understand is what makes it worse. I know for a fact there are a lot of people out there who don't understand depression, anxiety, or any other mental illness. And again, nobody that has these real illnesses does it for attention. If we constantly need confirmation, it's because we're insecure. And don't constantly batter them with their insecurities. Don't tell them, oh, you're pretty, you should know you're pretty, or why do you keep asking? I keep telling you the same answer over and over and over. It's because we want to make sure that you still care, that we're still pretty, and that, I don't know, you haven't changed your mind about us. Because being completely honest here, there are a lot of flaky human beings on this planet. You can change your minds at the drop of a hat. You can go from loving someone to hating someone so fast. It makes me dizzy. Today's society, honestly, makes me sick that people with illnesses are treated like circus freaks, and that's not right. Always listen to a girl when she's having mental breakdowns. Listen to men when they're having mental breakdowns. friends. You never, ever abandon them to drink with your friends. Because you know what? Yeah, that booze will be there for you later. They might not be. Because anxiety and depression, they make you do things you wouldn't normally do on a daily basis. They make you think that your life is meaningless and that you're better off dead and that everyone around you would be better off without you. And you choosing to ignore them would make them think that their thoughts are right. You don't want them to think that they're worthless or that your life is better off without them. Because in all honesty, that person might be your rock. And where would you be without that person? Where would they be without you? Is someone in your life suffering from anxiety or depression, you might want to give them a hug and let them know they matter. They might not know that you think they matter. Yeah, they act happy on the outside sometimes, but inside they're crying and screaming because they're trapped in a world of torture in their own minds that they can't escape. It's like running down a narrow hallway and the bricks are falling from underneath your feet as you run, and everything is just getting darker and darker, and they can't see where they're going anymore. You might be the only light they see. Don't turn away from these people. They don't do it for attention. They need support. If they're on medication, that's great. If they're not, advise them to seek medical help. Don't turn them away just because they are mentally ill. Being mentally ill is not a choice. It's something they're born with, or it's something that happened during mental trauma sometime in their childhood. Or maybe they just had a really bad breakup and it traumatized them for the rest of their lives. You never really know what's going on in someone else's life. So take a note to sit down and actually listen, because you never know when they might go off. You don't know what's in their heads. One day they could be smiling, and the next they could be dead. You don't want to be the reason that your best friend kills themselves. I know I don't.